So this is genius scientist versus expert detective. That's
This guy's just silent. Bro, you can't just... What? Bro,
true crime.
he kept just a silent, like, there ain't no way. There is literally this long of a... Oh, okay, I need to hear what he says. That's crazy.
Is he really sleeping?
Why did he keep this entire pause in? Genius detective
This is Michael Patton.
a genius scientist, Michael Patton, who's like an aerospace guy who kills his whole family versus some detective. We've been meaning to watch this for the longest time. He's a Raytheon guy, and we're going to do it now.
He also just killed his entire family, including 3 people, 3 dogs, and 1 cat mere hours ago.
Bro, he killed the dogs too? That's insane,
Okay.
brother. That is an insane... What the fuck? Like, the family, I understand. Like, that's fucked up, but that's, like, pretty boilerplate. You know, everybody does that kind of thing. Like, all the murderers become murderers. But
You just kill all the family members, even the pets and all the living beings in the whole.
killing their families, but, like, why would you kill the fucking pets? Yeah, I'm not talking about the cat, but, like, you know, the dogs especially. What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
And if anyone can get away with killing his family, it's a rocket scientist genius. The only problem is that the other man in this room, this man, Joshua Armstrong, is also a genius, albeit in another field. Detective Armstrong is an expert in...
Okay, this dude, I'm not gonna lie. He's about to hit us with some pseudo-scientific nonsense that you hear in, like, criminal justice classes, but I don't care about any of that. Okay, like, oh, he's an expert in, like, kinetic language or whatever, fucking, who cares, okay? And I know Cinema Marxism immediately said there ain't no genius cops. Bro, this guy literally looks like he would be a guy that you bring in a fucking movie to solve the crime, okay? I'm sorry, if you look like that, this dude is the least cop-coded cop I've ever seen. We have watched, on this broadcast, perhaps thousands of hours of interrogation footage, okay? Thousands of hours of interrogation footage. And I have never seen a straight-up Sherlock Holmes, Andy-looking motherfucker like this one. I don't know, man. This guy has a clearance rate. This guy is single-handedly keeping the clearance rate at, like, 5%. Without him, the entire law enforcement community would be at, like, 1%. He is the archetypical by-the-book Andy, okay? He looks like Jack Smith. Someone in the chat just said that. And if you recall, I said the exact same thing about Jack Smith as well, okay?
Wait, who's that?
I said the exact same thing about Jack Smith, that there are guys like this out there who, you know, are just, like, very by-the-book, and they love rules, and they actually get into being a cop specifically because they love rules and enforcing those rules.
Field. Detective Armstrong is an expert in analytic and cognitive interrogation strategies, specializing in microexpressions, meaning that if Michael's acting prowess isn't
this stuff is
equal to his aerospace engineering skill, Detective Armstrong will see through it. But with Michael having killed his wife and children only 2 hours prior to this interrogation, the truth is that this detective has an uphill battle. Importantly, Detective Armstrong has no real evidence with which to use as ammunition. At present, the only known facts are that Michael Patton's wife, daughter, son, 3 dogs, and 1 cat were found dead in their house. While Michael had called the emergency line, claiming to have killed his family, when police arrived at the scene, Michael's story changed. Upon arriving, the police found Michael's house ablaze. Michael, standing outside, had told the responding officers that his family was still inside the house. In other words, Michael Patton, on the phone, had admitted to the murders, while in-person Michael Patton appears to be unaware of the fact that his family had been shot dead before the house was set aflame. Barring a prank phone call or a framing situation, the most likely scenario is that Michael had killed his family, called the police to admit his crime, and then later regretted it, thereafter setting a fire to hide the evidence. From the arrival of the responding officers to the
Okay, am I crazy? I feel like it doesn't take a genius to, like, arrest this guy and clap him. What? He admitted it. What the fuck? Hello? Like, how the hell is he gonna get out of this at that point? Yeah, I'm not that impressed with your guy here. Yeah.
To the interrogation room, Michael has acted as though he was unaware that his family is deceased, even questioning the police as to why he's being brought down to the station. Joshua Armstrong, a seasoned detective, has determined that with all witnesses being dead, his best game plan is to build as much rapport as possible to extract a confession. He has no knowledge of Michael Patton as a person, and thus wants to get a feel for the suspect before anything else. Let's watch him do his work. But first, a moment of silence for the victims.
What?
Let me get
the... Oh my... Okay, the hat. That hat is ridiculous. I've never seen a channel that does one of these do that. Like a moment of silence for the victims. It's still kind of funny that they put the fucking dog and the cat in there too, but I thought this was going to be like a Jim Smith ass dude. You know what I mean? Classic. Like a closer. And then I found out he actually just straight up admitted on the phone call that he did the crime. At that point, it's just like a matter of catching him slipping again.
Person that's going to swab your hands real quick. And then we'll do that and get those handcuffs off of you, okay? You need something?
I'll just sit here and wait.
Okay, you need something, drink anything?
Please.
Water, okay?
Anything. This one.
He acting.
Michael, was that quick enough for you, brother? You go by Mike or Michael?
Usually Mike. Usually Mike.
Okay. Can you stand up for me? I'm gonna get them handcuffs off of you, okay? This is who I was talking about. Was gonna take a swab of your hands, okay? You okay with her doing that? Mike, do you have any injuries to you right now? Are you hurt anywhere, bleed anywhere, cut anywhere?
I know.
Okay. Well, do you mind standing up right here on the swab table? You've got a bruise right here. Is this old?
Yeah, that's a couple days old.
A couple days old. Okay. Anything on the backside? No cuts or anything like that? Do you mind if I lift your shirt up?
For it.
You got a, can't tell if that's a scratch over here. You got a cat or something at the house?
3 dogs and
Dogs and a cat? It looks like you got maybe a cat scratch over here on this side.
probably the puppy.
Puppy?
Can I stand for a minute?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Go ahead.
I was in the car for
You were sitting there for a long time. Give me just a second. Here's your cup of water, Mike.
Thank you.
Give me just a second, okay?
He killed a puppy and his whole family as well. I mean, the puppy thing does, I feel like, signal something
I'm
even
gonna go ahead and
beyond.
introduce myself. I haven't met you before.
Like, obviously, killing your whole family is, like, psychopathic. But, like, then also you killed the puppies and the fucking cat. Like, Jesus Christ, dude, what the fuck? Like, it's beyond. Like, it's even more
He's even known as this way from the earliest.
than, like, the average mass murderer, serial killer, family killer guy. No, it's because he set the house on fire. Like, okay, release the fucking puppies, man. What do you mean? That makes no sense. He said no witnesses, but it's like, what's the puppy gonna do? Talk to the cops?
My name's Josh.
The puppy's gonna talk to the other fucking canine unit, you know what I mean? And then the canine unit is gonna
I
tell
guess he thinks it's a Black Mirror episode, I guess.
Armstrong, okay? I don't
He's
know.
back.
Shake hands, and you know coronavirus is not.
I don't always stay at home. We both work from home.
Okay. What you do
Oh wait, this is like recent. He said we shake hands, coronavirus is done.
for a living?
Work for Raytheon.
Huh?
Raytheon.
Raytheon. Is that the oil or gas or?
Defense.
Oh god. Oh, I love this cop already. Oh, he's such a fucking hog, dude. What is that, oil? Right here. What's that about? You're an oilman?
Okay. Yep. That's right. Mike, I told you my name's Josh Armstrong. This is Kyle Peck, okay? We're both with the Flying Police Department. You were in the back of that patrol car for a long time. Is your legs okay? They get unasleep?
My right one's still trying, but I'm okay. I'm gonna stand up there. So
You can, if you need to stand up, just tell me you need to stand up, okay? I'm gonna let
They're cops. COVID was done in September 2020. COVID was never a thing for cops. Except for when they all died to COVID. Like, so many of them died to COVID. But they still were like, no, it's not a real thing.
you read this at the same time I read it, okay? It says you have the right to remain silent and not make any statement at all. Anything you say can and will be used against you at your trial. You have the right to have a lawyer present and advise you prior to and during any questioning. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, you have the right to have
Yes,
a lawyer
Miranda.
appointed to represent you before any questioning. You have the right to terminate this interview at any time. Do you understand each of these rights, Mike?
I understand why you're arrested. Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
He should go on a lawyer, man.
Well, we can answer any questions you have
Sit down.
here in just a minute, okay? And
What the
so you do
fuck?
understand your rights? Okay, and with your rights in mind, you want to speak with me now?
Imagine exchanging a confession for an FGM 148 Javelin.
I don't know. I need a lawyer. I don't.
That's a complete personal decision on your.
One thing that we've seen thus far, no matter what happens, no matter what fucking background you're from, okay, it's just that, like, you always immediately have the assumption that having a lawyer or calling a lawyer automatically means you're guilty, which, you know, cops do treat it that way for sure. But, like, it doesn't matter. You should do it
Yeah, it
regardless.
doesn't matter.
But so many people, I think, under the assumption that they think they'll do a good job by being able to, like, handle it themselves, just don't get a lawyer. It's so stupid.
Yeah, unless you're the baby.
Get a lawyer, even if you are not a criminal. Okay, get a fucking lawyer.
Mike, I just need to make sure that you do understand your rights, and then if you want a lawyer, you know, you can let me know and we can get you one. And you know, obviously, I think you've got some questions that you were trying to ask me a minute ago.
Too, but I don't have any assets. I feel like I need somebody to help me with what's going on because I don't have any idea what's going on.
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, neither one of us have an idea of what's going on right now either because
Okay,
we haven't
good.
spoken with you yet. If that makes sense.
It does.
So we really don't know. We don't know what's going on. I think our hope was that you would help us figure out what's going on as much as us help you figure out what's going on.
Try, but I don't know what happened.
You sound really short
Damn, he's not your average engineer in Raytheon. He's a bit of a bad boy. Look at that tattoo.
of breath. Do you have asthma or medical condition or anything? Or are you just tired
Man, sleep apnea maybe, but
or
I'm stressed out.
just really stressed?
I don't know what's happening.
I just want to clarify before I ask you any questions or you ask me any questions. You said you did understand your rights. You do want to speak with me, correct?
Start, but I don't know if I start getting overwhelmed. I want somebody that
You can stop the interview at any time. What was your question? You were trying to ask me some questions when we were coming up the stairway.
I don't know what's happening. I don't remember what happened. I remember working this afternoon.
What do you do for Raytheon?
Why is he whispering?
Murder. I mean, fuck. Not my family.
I make sure everything's right before it gets released. Drawings or documents or whatever.
I really don't know what Raytheon does. What is it?
I don't think he knows. Chat was like, "Oh no, he's acting like he doesn't know what Raytheon is." But no, I actually don't think. He knows, man. I think he sincerely has no idea.
Missiles, aerospace.
So are you still employed? Is Raytheon is a private contractor? It's contracted through the government?
Contracts and stuff, yeah. Okay. Mainly government contracts.
What is it that you do for them?
The configuration stuff. I run a meeting every month with the Navy. I check all the drawings.
Given the circumstances, the detective's questions might seem overly mundane. This is intentional, as Michael Patton's game plan is to play confused. If the detective can show that Michael is cognizant and lucid, it can lead observers, such as a jury, to believe that Michael's claim of confusion is merely an act. Thus, Detective Armstrong's first goal is to determine that Michael
Testing the mental
is
state.
indeed lucid.
But for my programs, make sure everything's right. I make sure that the markings are correct so that we're protected. Government will highlight, copyright and all that fun stuff.
Is it like classified type of stuff? Or?
Well, I have my classified, or I've been cleared classified, but I don't work on a classified program currently.
Okay. Forgive me, I don't know.
There's something that I have to mention here that I find particularly funny. I love this channel having a fucking fedora in its goddamn watermark. Like, these channels love putting the watermark right in the middle of their, like, FOIA requested public access videos that they're like putting on their content. But the fact that they also have like a fedora in the watermark makes this so funny. Especially because like the guy is like such a tip milady fedora wearing dude.
Much about. I wasn't much about.
I'm still learning.
How did you get in? Were you in the military?
He does configuration control. He's not a genius scientist. Yeah, I don't know.
How you got into that, or
I got into it later after I got my degree.
is that something anybody can do, or like do you need some kind of what's the degree in?
My degree is engineering physics.
Okay, so that's why that's the physics part of this.
Not necessarily for what I do right now, but I can use it for stuff. I understand electronics and schematics and stuff.
I don't understand any electronics or schematics. Were you in the military at all?
I was in the Marine Corps.
And how long were you there?
6 years.
6 years. And did you get deployed at all?
I got injured on prep for deployment, so I didn't go. I hurt my ankle.
Bad or?
Sprained it real bad, enough that it delayed me past shipping out, so I didn't deploy.
Detective Armstrong does not know this
Classic.
at this point, but Michael Patton was
Classic.
being strangely truthful here. Later interviews with people who know Michael would show that Michael consistently lied about the action he saw in the Marine Corps. Apparently, Michael discussed with multiple people numerous battles he had experienced during his time as a Marine.
But that's so much funnier. That is also classic. Getting injured past point of deployment and then lying about like how many 14-year-olds you murdered in on active duty is, wow. This guy hit the high Monty. This is all of the things. The only thing that is more classic than this is a guy who dresses up in tactical shit, okay, and has never served, but also lies about serving.
Most likely, Michael has decided to not risk lying about unrelated
Literally lying.
issues so that he can focus his mental energy on concealing the crime in question.
In the Marine Corps.
Communications tech. Okay. So I fixed the radio.
You got a pretty impressive background between the Marine Corps and then the Raytheon stuff.
Try.
I try.
Well, tell me a little bit.
He's like, I'm a high achiever. That's why I murdered my family. I mean, fuck, I didn't do that. I did not do that.
I don't know anything about you, Michael. I'm trying to piece together the puzzle. I think the same way you are. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Like, what do you like doing?
Murdering my family. I mean, fuck.
What's your family like? And who, I mean,
Dead.
My wife and I have been together since I was 19 and she was 18. We have 2 kids. She's a nurse.
Bro, did you really say, how do you go from Marine Corps to fat? My friend, have you met a veteran? Let me explain something to you. When you're 18, 19, 20,
Amen.
early 20s, okay? and you're burning 8,000 calories a day because you're wearing a fucking 75 pounds worth of gear, and you're eating literally the worst dog shit, like things that you should not ever give to a human being, okay? Just basically like 800 grams of sugar in the form of MREs and whatever the fuck else that they're serving, whatever else kind of fucking slop that they serve, the Marines, other than the steady diet of crayons, okay?
I think it's
What ends
after
up happening
the
is like
parents.
once you are no longer
I think all unhealthy food, I guess.
constantly fucking burning calories like you would, and you still keep eating like shit, you become very fat very quick. Yeah, because you're still eating shit.
Daughter's a swimmer. Pretty good.
I can't get over his fucking awesome hat, dude. My brother's a Marine, and I feel you're disrespecting the family. Yeah, always. Always. There's always somebody who's like, actually, like, my brother's a Marine, and he loved the red crayons, and only for the texture, and not necessarily for the actual taste. Like, there's more to it. True, when I got out of put on a bunch of weight, lost it since, but shit is real. Eating the same like I was in the same demand. Yep.
He's high-functioning autistic, but he manages some days. Other days the Adderall doesn't help. I like music.
You collect vinyl? A lot of it?
I just started not too long ago, probably 2 years ago.
How much do you think you got?
40, 50 albums.
Oh, okay.
I'm not hardcore yet.
Well, the only reason I know about that is my father-in-law was a radio DJ for like 34, 40 years, a long time. And so he came to live. He needed a place to live when he moved. But he lived with us for a little bit, and he brought these wooden crates. I guess they're made specifically because they're the size of the vinyl records that fit in. He probably had like 30 of these wooden crates full of vinyl records that we had to move in and then move out. And you know how moving goes. But so he had a huge vinyl collection, but I think he's doing business.
You try to be friendly with him so I can get out more information, I guess, building a rapport.
I mean, I like music, I like hanging out with my kids. I've been binge watching a TV show lately. He's on do an episode or two.
What show is it?
Supernatural.
Oh God, arrest him, arrest him. No, that's enough. Jail for you, okay? That's for a different reason. You know what I mean?
I don't know that I've even heard of it.
Bro, brother, your life is solving crimes, okay, with your fucking 10-gallon hat. Get the hell out of here. Of course you don't know what the fuck Supernatural is. Your entire life revolves around solving crimes, brother. Look at your fucking fit. He's like, he didn't know what Raytheon was, dude.
So we've been watching that. Play video games every once in a while, but I'm not that into it. It's just something that occupy my time. Been getting back into working out recently, trying to better myself.
Going to the gym or doing it at home?
Gym, but we're working on buying something for the house.
Like a home gym thing? You go in the garage? What, you said your son's high functioning autistic. How old is your son?
13.
13.
For the sake of avoiding an early confrontation with Michael, the detective has decided to play along and use the present tense to refer to Michael's dead family members. This is intentional, but cognitively difficult for most people to do. Essentially, the detective has to play make-believe with Michael, all the while mentally juggling his interrogation strategy, observing Michael's body language, and analyzing Michael's story. In a high-pressure situation, such as in a murder interrogation room, even expert detectives can slip up.
When you say high function, there's so many different kinds of autism out there. What is?
That's crazy. That's actually very interesting. That like the detective doesn't know what Raytheon is, but knows that there's like different like autism is a spectrum. Says a lot about America at this point, and also about like mental health and I mean seriously, like he doesn't know what fucking Supernatural is. He doesn't know what Raytheon is, but he's like, well, you know, there's a lot of. He's clearly acting dumb about Raytheon. You think so? Dog, he's just lying. He literally said in the vid that he knows what it is, but is playing dumb. I don't know. I don't believe it. Because then he kept asking other questions.
This is specific.
He's anxiety. He was kind of not antisocial, but busy social environments. He had a delayed learning. He didn't speak until he was like 4. And so usually, like I said, the Adderall tends to help.
You're listening to him is kind of infuriating.
Why'd they give him Adderall for autism? That I don't understand. I guess in America, they're just like, oh, is your kid like, is there something wrong with your kid? Here, take some fucking meth. Hassan, you can never be a detective king. Dude, I would detect the top of the hour ad break so fucking far and all of your dumb segues from a mile away, okay? And then serve it to you right at 3:00. Because at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. If I can do segues like that, I would do a segue in the middle of a fucking interrogation, and the guy would get so confused that he would actually end up admitting to the crime, okay? That's how I would do it.
It doesn't. He's very easily addicted to screens.
Oh,
addicted to screens like
thank you
video
for the-
games, his phone, stuff like that. He does taekwondo. He seems to enjoy that. That gives him some.
I think it's
ADHD and
true
autism can
for
have a ton of
every
overlap in the
kid.
sense that they're both a little they're both neuropsychiatric disorders, and often patients can meet diagnosed criteria for both. You think I don't fucking know that? I know that because I have a very neurodivergent audience. A lot of people on the spectrum in my audience who constantly say, one of us, when I talk about my own personal experience, even though I was diagnosed with ADHD and not autism. So, you know, I get it. I know why the diagnosis is common. I just don't understand why. Like, I didn't realize they give the Adderall to people with autism.
Some structure,
Focus.
Yeah, it gives him something like specific movements, and he's able to practice it. And
Oh, for cute. Thank you for the 5 gifted.
How old was your daughter?
maybe it was-
How old is she? You said she does some swimming stuff.
yeah, she is 14.
The detective's use of past tense is an inflection point in this interrogation. The standard interrogation strategy, often referred to as the Reed technique, would compel the detective to confront the suspect at this point. However, Detective Armstrong doesn't subscribe to this school of interrogation strategy and is more focused on Michael's nonverbal communication. Most important in this detective's mind is the fact that Michael has avoided eye contact the entire time, barring this one confrontation. The detective decides not to push the issue, instead opting to pretend that he's made a mistake with his words. His reasoning is threefold. 1. Michael has shown his attentiveness in the interview by pointing out a single verb in the detective's speech. That is, Michael is not speaking in a daze, but is of complete clarity in this conversation. This is beneficial to the prosecution's
Paying
case and
attention.
will show that Michael is not as confused as he claims to be. 2. Michael, having shown a high level of intelligence, is likely enacting a pre-planned strategy. Locking eyes with the detective at the first sign of the conversation taking a turn toward the murder is most likely an attempt to draw the detective into a direct
Yeah, I mean,
accusation.
He works at
The
Raytheon. His
detective
son
is
has
an expert on
autism.
body language and has
Okay,
decided
I don't think it takes a genius here to assume that he's not making eye contact, not because he's like the murderer. We know that. There's probably some other reasons why he's not making eye contact, okay? Homie's wearing a fucking NASA shirt. Come on.
that Michael is baiting him. Third, with all other witnesses already deceased, the detective has only Michael from which to extract the details of the murder. For this reason,
He's giving A-worded.
Detective Armstrong wishes to lock Michael into his story before making any accusations. The only person who can give him an account of the crime is Michael himself. Thus, the detective needs to tread carefully. He's walking on eggshells, in other words.
What did she do swimming was?
Strokes.
Hmm.
Why did you say?
I'm just trying to learn who your family is. I don't know anything about them.
You said how old she was.
Got him.
I don't know why I said that. I'm just trying to figure out about your family.
Got him. But also, he's also kind of fucking up too, because he's like, why would you pay attention to that? Like, nobody would pay attention to that. Unless you know, you knew that they were dead and you were trying to act like you didn't know that they were dead. You know what I mean? That's so dumb.
He's really trying to figure about you, and
She swims whatever events. And the meets are open, and you schedule whatever events that you want the kids to swim. It's not structured. I mean, sometimes the coaches will say, "I want you to this event."
like the different strokes and like Michael Phelps kind of stuff, like the butterfly and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's only 4 strokes.
Adderall is very different than methamphetamine. Also, you seem to have a few autistic traits, but you are masking very, very well. That's wild, dude. Every time the autism conversation comes up, there's a bunch of people in here that are like, no, you're definitely autistic. Like, I know for a fucking fact. And you're masking, dude. Always. 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 No matter what. You don't think people have autistic traits is actually a trait of autism? What? I saw a tweet earlier today that was perfect for this, right? Someone posted a fucking sign, like a classic sign that they sometimes have in neighborhoods, like you know, be on the lookout, autistic child, right? Like it's like sometimes they put like a sign like that up, right? And someone was like, Lamau, what a fucking, like a traffic sign, right? They have it sometimes. Like, are you guys not aware of this? Yes. Yeah, it just means like drive slow, because you don't, like, they do it for deaf kids too. They do it for blind kids too. Anyway, and someone fucking quote tweeted it, and it was perfect. They were like,
I
yeah, that's
mentioned that
because
one.
autism is a real thing in the world. That's because autism is a real thing in the world, and not, you know, when you have like when you're like a quirked up white boy, okay, or a quirked up white girl with like specific interests. Like, that's why it's not shocking that there is a sign like that out there. You know what I mean? Adderall is for people with chemical imbalance, so when you take it, it slows down. But if you don't have a chemical imbalance, then it's like meth. Autistic child at play. Please don't stigmatize Adderall as meth. Desoxin is the prescription name for methamphetamine, and it works way better for my ADHD symptoms. Wait, what? I don't get it, dude. I know it's not the same as methamphetamine or speed, okay? It's like, it's legal and very different chemically. Fine. I don't care. Everybody stop yelling at me, okay? Go yell at the FDA, dumbasses, okay? None of you motherfuckers are getting your Adderall. You understand me? None of you. And you're in here fucking yelling at me like my fucking jokes are what's causing the FDA to be like, well, actually, we're gonna roll back. We're not allowing we're not allowing people to make as much Adderall as they once did. All stimulants work to varying degrees of ADHD. That's why we crush energy drinks and Mountain Dew without batting an eyes like Adderall Light. I love energy drinks. Helps me.
Why do you think we're here today? I'm confused on why we are here. You don't remember anything from today?
I think of this the other day, my wife.
Oh, sorry. Did I say the FDA? It is the DA's decision. My bad. I fucked it up. I fucked my 3-letter agency up on that one. It is absolutely the DA's decision. My bad. Thank you for correcting me, Chatter.
We've been working lately. We haven't been struggling a little bit. I've been trying to work on it. I was going to counseling. I haven't been in a few weeks. So I've been going to counseling.
And this my best man is actually said.
Struggling Saturday night. She had one of the guns and was saying that their only way out.
Say that one more time.
She said the only way out was to basically catch up and I wouldn't leave the room.
What?
And I wouldn't leave her alone. I kept trying to get the gun away from her. After about 2 hours, I got it away from her. But, you know, basically, if I called in to try to get her some help, they'd take her personal license away. I didn't know what to do. Her best friend came over, and she ended up staying the night. Maybe that was Sunday night, because she was there all day Monday when we were working. And I've been watching. I've been afraid that she was going to hurt herself. I hit the guns. And I don't know.
Who's her best friend?
Her name's Heather.
She worked with her or high school friend? Or?
They're friends from middle school.
Okay.
Work husband.
You know what Heather's last name is?
She's divorced, but I think she's still using Weber.
Heather Weber? That rhymes. So this was, you think, last Sunday?
Yeah, like a couple days ago, Sunday night maybe.
Okay. Do you know what today is?
Thursday or Friday.
Yes. Today's Friday. Okay. So last Sunday night this still happened. Did you end up ever contacting anybody, or you just kind of let the friend kind of?
Kind of let the friend. I've been talking to her. She was doing better throughout. She was talking to me and opening up, and that's thought we were doing better. And she agreed that she'd do couples counseling with me. And so I said that, you know, she's been waffling on it back and forth for about a month. She agreed she'd go. Told me I might not like all her answers, but that she would go because I thought it was important. And so I was going to look into it. And that was.
Okay. And so you said you hid the guns? Where'd you hide those at?
I had one of them was up in my office that I didn't use it this week, but I've been using it for a few months in the extra bedroom upstairs. And it was up there. And then the other one was, I had hid it in a bag. I was planning on putting them in my truck and trying to find a friend to take them to for a little while until it blew over, and I felt like she was better.
How many guns do y'all have?
2.
Are they both handguns or rifles?
Yes,
It's both handguns. Do you know what they are?
there's a Walther, it's a 22 and a 9mm Springfield.
Springfield. I used to have a Springfield 9mm. I traded it for a Glock.
I never liked Glocks.
I didn't like them until I started carrying them. I learned to love them. So it was a transfer, but they're very, very simple to use and operate and take down and clean and interchange parts and all that stuff. So I switched everything over and got rid of my Springfield. Has your wife ever had any suicidal stuff prior to this week?
A couple of years ago, she had thoughts of it.
I like that he's just like dropping hints in the least subtle way possible. Like, well, you know, she did have suicidal ideations. Like, let's not look at the hat on the table, brother. I can't stop looking at it. If anything, the hat on the table is like ruining. First of all, this is a GoPro camera, fisheye lens, so the hat looks even more comically large. Okay, it's impossible to not talk about the hat, to not look at the hat. The hat is the main character in this interrogation. The hat is playing a serious role in this fucking interrogation. It's good cop, hat cop. Yeah.
Through it.
Hmm.
We worked through it.
Has she ever had any kind of a medical treatment for it or anything like that?
She just started opening up about when she was in.
The only reason why he's able to conduct this interrogation so successfully is because Hat Cop is giving him all those powers.
In middle school or high school, she went to counseling just recently told me that she was abused when she was
actual 상가.
and that's why she's been not wanting to go to therapy with me, because she doesn't like the experience.
Physical abuse or sexual abuse?
Sexual, from what she's told me.
Do you know who it was that done it to her, like a family or
I
boyfriend?
think it was friends of her dad and maybe her stepdad.
What's she been?
She told me about one, including when she was living with her dad in Michigan. There was the neighbor. She was babysitting and woke up to him over her, and there was other ones that she didn't tell me about. But she told me that
Oh, so it's like not just one thing, or not just one person, coming multiple.
and so she's struggled with that before, and so like I said, we worked through it, and I've been trying to work through the issues that we've been having. I've never been great with sharing my emotions, and that's why I went to counseling, trying to be.
Bro, we gotta move this along a little bit. Like, what's happening? No disrespect to this channel, but goodbye, hide a body in that hat. I feel like this is an interesting case. It's gruesome. It's awful. The cop is surprisingly good.
Mr. Audio.
I'm skipping forward a little bit because it's like he just kind of let the whole interrogation ride. You know what I mean? Nothing interesting happens until the last 15 minutes. All right, let's go here. The fuck did he say? This guy's just silent. Bro, you can't just... What? Bro, he kept just a silent, like... The fuck did he say to him?
Actually napping.
There ain't no way there's literally this long of a fucking pause. Okay, I need to hear what he says. Oh my God, the pause is
Do you
still...
think to go chronological throughout your day to day, from time you woke up for lunch and what you did for work, and just kind of see if maybe you can piece together, what happened. You remember what you ate for breakfast?
Didn't.
No breakfast at all?
Toast about 11.
Did you eat anything for lunch, or was that your lunch, the toast?
Dude, it's pretty funny if he just stopped talking because the guy asked him what he ate for breakfast and lunch.
Do you think for dinner tonight?
So, well,
Yeah, the reason why this long ass pause happens is because he's just really intently trying to figure out what he had for... He's just trying to figure out what he ate, dude. That's what's going on. That's crazy. Why did he keep this entire pause in?
Do you remember the police coming to your house this evening?
I remember being on the sidewalk on my face.
Okay.
Here, Michael avoids the question. He instead volunteers unrelated information. We have talked about this strategy before in our other interrogation analysis videos. In short, this is a naive strategy that attempts to show one being truthful without having to answer a question truthfully. It's as if to say, let me tell you about this one verifiably true thing that happened instead of answering your question. You see, I'm being truthful with you. Now, as for your question, I cannot remember. And you should believe me because I just told you something else that's true, thereby solidifying my status as an honest person. In my experience, this strategy tends to be much more common with socially introverted suspects.
I'm not going to lie. This is not a genius scientist, and this is not an expert detective. Like, he might be an expert detective, but like, and he's giving off the vibes that he's an expert detective, but like, what is he detecting? You know what I mean? Like, you don't really need to do any detecting. I got clickbaited. I will admit, I got clickbaited. It's been like 3 days. It's been 3 whole days where I've been like, oh, we got to watch the video. We got to watch the video. We got to watch the video. And it's like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, no, he's the only thing he's detected is a sick ass hat, okay, on a hat rack that he purchased immediately. Like, I will admit that. He was very good at detecting that this hat would make him look super cool. And I think that that's fire and good for him.
And highly uncommon in the most talkative and psychopathic suspects, as the latter group is much more confident in lying directly.
Mark, look at me. Yeah, look at me, brother. I'm going to be honest with you. Can you be honest with me? You called 911 tonight? 911? And you told the dispatcher that you wanted to kill yourself. Do you know why you would tell them that you wanted to kill yourself?
In the last 10 years, there's been 3 times that I wanted to kill myself. If I said that tonight, if you want me to be honest with you.
Dude. Exactly. That's why this entire thing is like bunk.
Yeah, just kind of keeping things fun.
Well, she's, you know, in a meeting. I can't necessarily see things and stuff. So.
Law tip. In a court of law, this guy's 100% an expert. Getting someone qualified as an expert in a field is so fucking easy in the States is crazy. That's why we have junk science like firearm tool mark analysis admissible in court.
So does she see patients? Like, is she like FaceTiming patients or?
What?
You want me to give you a quick brief of what happened? This guy's a Raytheon guy, okay, in the NASA shirt. He killed his whole family, including the dogs, and he lit the house on fire. Then he called 911 and said he wanted to commit suicide. Then the cops showed up, and we got debated by this. We got clickbaited by this like ridiculous title that says "Genius Scientist versus Expert Detective." And yes, he killed a cat too, but that part I don't really care about that much. Okay. Yes, he killed 3 dogs, and also I guess he killed a cat as well. Okay. Anyway,
Okay,
man,
dude.
fucking come on, I'm joking, dude. I'm so.
That's a weird chat.
God, cat lovers will take that shit so seriously. Okay. Anyway, he killed his family, chat. You can't be fucking getting insane about me making jokes about him killing the cat too. He killed his whole family, dog. I've made jokes about that shit too. But the cat lovers, I love when cat lovers are like, well, joking about his cat being killed by the guy. Well, that's when he took it too far. Let me tell you something, brother. All right, I'm done. I don't want to watch this video anymore. I'm going to instead.
Okay, finish the video.